away because he's brought out the Loki when that's not banned out, and Paint has to stop the dive with the freezes.
Canadian gonna head towards the left side, try to apply some pressure at a different angle. You'll see that a lot at this level of play, just constantly looking past in alternative angles instead of through the shields of the front line. So that needs to be a mindset you apply on the ladder as things are kind of stalled out now, as Maiden is just building alt charge and trying to get ready to launch the blade.
The domain regen was popped. That's an important cooldown to mark, and this will give Amadian a chance because you don't want to dash in and be caught, and he's going to look for that perfect execute. Doesn't want to be the first to fall. The point is unlocked. It was already capped by Shikigami, and they are quick to play on the low ground, but playing up close and personal is iRemix on the thing. This has been his one trick for quite a while, and how he's going to play in tandem from space, and Amadian catches an isolated target.
That's an awesome early pick there on to the side of Shikigami, but they do also, they are running that juiced out Bucky composition, as we are going to see the Kraken impact early. Remix going to be taking out Crazebang, but Shikigami, Day's going to land that on Cal and say, hey, I am the Bucky now, as we do it again up into the sky, trying to find another onto iRemix. Ton of damage out, but he does drop back to the team and use that damage reduction, about 30%.
For sure, and Paint popped the Luna ult to just keep the team centered around the staircase side. The Vanguards are taking damage, but there's now a damage boost going down. Dinks and Shikigami holding down the point, halfway capped. Here's the re-engage from Envy.
Yeah, the Fate of Both Worlds gonna slow up the pacing a little bit, but the damage boost from NK gonna land and take out Dinks and Days. Really well done there. That communication of, hey, I'm switching to damage. Throw the whale. Let me see the whale as it lands and takes out 2. Make that 3 and 4 as Envy is gonna own this point.
Really good retake and combo off the Fate of Both Worlds. The damage boost plus the whale is a one-shot combo. Y'all write that down in your ranked games. But you got a Meteor M available for space. And as Boger even said, it's not even just an offensive ult. He do protect, but he also attack. And you can even burst down a Luna depending on how much charge you can get in that Meteor M. You can kill the Luna in her, or eliminate the Luna in her ultimate. So that's something to keep in mind for the upcoming fights, as you have Crazy with the Venom ult. That could also get people quite low, and it's paired nicely with the Kraken impact. We'll see if he'll wait for Days, though.
Absolutely. We also see that combination of when Luna's using that ult, you got to burst that extra health down, burst the HP where she starts at, I believe, 525. You burst it down and you throw this meatball at it as space is in the sky, lands, and it does trade back and forth, one on each side as the numbers are evened out. Ooh, again, the rest are going to be up as Cal going to rain down on Craze. And again, Shikigami still got kind of the numbers trying to battle back with 43, 44% on the side of Envy.
Yeah, for Envy to take that fight when they only had one strategist alive. Paint got Meteor M'd right off the rip, and you didn't have a strategist trade from Space's Meteor M. So it was all up to that Kraken impact of Cal and just the poking and prodding. He forced that crazy Venom extra health ability. So then he was out of the fight for quite a while. Venom great at taking space, but not necessarily holding it as well, which is what Space and iRemix are just flourishing at.
Envy does go, they are going to have percentage advantage, but they're also going to have alt advantage here as they're holding on to Sleepy and NK. And you did mention, obviously, right now, the coordination is not going to be able to happen with Paint and NK again for that damage boost, but the whale is ready to be thrown. Sleepy holding on, ready to make the dance floor happen. And actually, Loki can make that happen as Ricky with a nice pick there on Cal in the distance.
And you got the domain regen, the Loki crystals. Once that's gone, Amadian could let it rip with the dance of the butterflies, but the cap is trying to go through from Shikigami. It's 95 plus for Envy. They got the copy of the Sleepy ultimate, meaning there's probably a lot more strategist action. I'm seeing the Luna aura and no touch from the Venom. That is disastrous from the Shikigami.
Remix going to continue to be aggressive with those thing ults, and as long as you land them post a strategist ultimate while they're grouped up trying to stay alive, it always seems to come as a shock and provide a ton of value for your team.
There's a dance of the butterflies and the domain regen. You really want to wait for that low-key cooldown to be out, and vulnerability, the heals, and everything. But hey, it did allow for the first cap, so there's a silver lining somewhere. The Vanguard's in trouble though from Envy. Fantastic freeze from Ricky. Sets up the Kraken impact, and all Envy can do is scatter.
Yeah, That was really well done there by Daze to make a play off it. Honestly, Envy played it really slow in an honestly smart style, just waiting out some ultimates, buying time and gaining alt charge. But unfortunately, Shikigami committed heavy into pushing them into that doorway and just played off it, allowing Bucky to reset quickly, get an immediate two-piece off the first crack and impact. Just really well done there. And alt advantage still going to be on the side of Envy, but it's not far off from Shikigami, who can match some things and hit them with that dance, the fate of both worlds, keeping them in the fight. So we will see how this shakes out as they're at 43%.
Oh, Amadian is going for an assassination on some of these strategists, gets pulled by the Bucky and will be forced to dash away. Kraken impact in response from Cal. Look at this Meteor M though from Scatter to deal with the problem at hand. Cal, was he silent or silenced? Shikigami with the advantage, the Luna ult and the Venom ult to weaken, to dismantle Envy, but Sleepy matches a Loki copy of the Luna ult, and this was used later on in the fight. A lot more sustained from the Envy side, but they haven't capped the point, Shib, so it's Shikigami benefiting from how long this is lasting.
Yeah, there's a nice pick again from Scatter. Amadian gonna do the same thing. They're gonna keep this trend rolling as Ricky now finds iRemix, and now it's looking heavily on the side of Shikigami, who in that moment there is just going to follow up and sweep everyone. I did see Ricky try to get a combination with the damage boost on the Venom. Another one of those sleeper combinations that can sweep a team, but unfortunately didn't find a ton of value. And I say that as it might turn around here as Paint gonna take out Daze, try to find a little bit of an advantage. 97% they have to touch right now, and I don't know if they can make it.
Oh my god, Envy got distracted by flankers. And Shikigami sustain. Maybe more utility on the side, but with NK, that team up, the freeze against the dive, this is gonna really ruin Crazy's life.
NK just trying to build charge now, 71%, trying to get the whale ready, make some sort of play as Paint is right around even with that charge. Is up in the sky we go. There goes the clobbering time, gonna land it with the Meteor follow-up. Great combination there by Envy. iRemix gonna find one, but right back out of Daze, gonna take out Sleepy. The res up on Scatter as they are gonna keep the pressure forward. This fight is very back and forth. Up into the sky we go. Scatter looking for one, gets two, and down goes Paint and NK as Shikigami is now gonna have the advantage and take over the point.
The execution of ults was superb from Shikigami, especially the Kraken impact read from Daze to even spot and predict the teleport from Sleepy to his other doppelganger. And that was a doppelganger that wasn't moving. Daze has got next level wrinkles and the Meteor M to wait for the perfect amount of charge to burst down the Luna in the middle of her ultimate. Shikigami have more in the tank coming up with Envy on the approach.
Yeah, it's embarrassing for myself to think about how successful these Magneto ults have been on to the dancing Luna. That Fate of Both Worlds getting canceled like as more than I've ever seen, obviously, at this level of play. They just don't seem to miss. Crazeman going to be taking that space. But like you said, it's difficult to hold that space with Venom once you burn your cooldowns, unless you have this ult up, which I would not be surprised to happen right here. Down and takes out 3 with the damage boost from Ricky. There's that combination we love to see.
Shikigami are getting so much value off of their ultimates. Back-to-back fights off of just combos and really good reads out of their opponent. Now the ball is in Envy's court. We're going to have the ult advantage coming up. The clobbering time, you pointed out, it's the setup guide, the setup thing for the Envy squad. This has to get everyone weak enough for the Kraken impact of Cal, unless Amadian wants an early pick and spots out the doppelganger. No strategist from Envy, and it's almost 70% from Shikigami.
Yeah, this is the clinic right now. Like you're saying, they just have this pressure. They're owning this space, and the momentum is heavily in their favor as we're at 75%, and alts are pretty close in terms of economy. Envy gonna have a slight advantage here, and they're gonna have to use it to get this space back. They're gonna have to pop them in a non-offensive manner instead just gonna try to take this space defensively, but we'll see what happens, as you know how Scatter is when it comes to this Meteor M onto that Fate of Both Worlds.
And the Venom is ready to die from behind, and Amadian there, and Shikigami ended the fight before it started but Envy, it's all up to now. The 0 to 100 comeback. It starts with the Fate of Both Worlds. Paint and healing and damage to set up Cal with the whale from NK. Envy threw everything at the wall, but will the win stick? All the damage being eaten up by Scatter with the Meteor M. While this Venom is frozen, Shikigami will be set behind, and finally Envy will see some progress.
Yeah, Envy did a great job there scattering during ults, maintaining positioning, still having eyes on where they needed eyes, but making sure that they were away enough to not get three-pieced off of any specific ultimate. Loved the take there. Dropping the whale early to get a pick was nice on the side of NK, but now they're going to be down. They do have that combination with Sleepy and iRemix to try to turn that back in their favor. If you copy the Luna, you do the damage boost and allow Remix to pop that Venom ult, immediately taking out a Madian again. Now the tides are turning at 26%.
iRemix has to be careful to also not get pulled by this Bucky. He used that extra health. That Venom can still be a liability, but Envy have bought themselves some time with that pick onto Madian, and marking that Psylocke is important. Envy have had fights ruined in the past because of that. They also got the mini game of taking care of all the squids from NK, because the slows are really going to hurt iRemix, and we don't get to see iRemix on Venom every day. Now trying to show crazy how it's done. Shikigami with the ult advantage, ready to step up with all 6.
Yeah, and here we go as it initiates. You just have to win one fight here on the side of Shikigami, and they are going to do the Venom combination again, getting a three-piece. Envy down by 3, make that 4th, they get one back from space, but no! Kraken Impact after Kraken Impact Days says, let's end this right now and push this onto game 2.
I can't believe it. Shikigami with the comeback of the century, losing the first round to following up. This is a new look and a very vibes-based team as Shikigami roll out with some Storm and now some Squirrel Girl, probably just to pepper down these tanks. And Squirrel Girl great for that tank pressure. It's a little bit tough to execute in terms of accuracy as a Squirrel Girl enjoyer myself, but this burst down the root walls so quickly, and a fantastic root onto Space, who has to bring the shield out. So a great first blood from Shikigami.
The Squirrel Girl damage, like you mentioned, really strong into that shield, finding value immediately, getting locked down, scattered, trying to find another onto the group. Remix running for his life as the KO does not come through. Well done on the retake there by Envy to force themselves back, but a ton of space bought here by Shikigami.
They're still rolling out with this Storm and the Squirrel Girl, the mobility of the Storm allowing them to just brute force their way. And you know, with how large Vanguards are, even if you're blind, you can still hit a root from the Squirrel Girl. So I think Envy are gonna get humbled real quick. iRemix's walls are gonna break, and he almost has to use them defensively, and that's a strangling prison from Crazy's side. One of the best groups that we have, but a domain regen is popped from Sleepy with paint with the fate of both worlds, and a Storm ult as soon as that expires. Sleepy with a second Luna ult. The Eye of Agamotto on top, and all hell breaks loose. A huge...
Then you initiate the ult, because all you have to do at that point, land a melee in a swing, and you are going to sweep the back line as we see an easy pick there onto Cal from the side of Crazemang, and a Madian on the Squirrel Girl, surprisingly getting insane value, just dealing a ton of damage with this lockdown, and no luck there on the Strangling Prison, as I think Envy's playing a little bit on their heels.
All right, a 4v6 turnaround, and you deal with the Squirrel Girl. You were aiming for the Loki. Dinks is still alive and well. Doppelganger teleported out. Will copy the fate of both worlds. And Shikigami are also kind of getting traded out. So despite a 6v4 fight for this offense, it's not going to go by so easily. You don't have a Doctor Strange on the NV side, so there's no easy portal. There is just going to be a recontest where they're going to play as safe as possible until they get all 6 back.
Yeah, we might see the combination here of Strangling Prison into Kraken Impact, a very terrifying combo because you will land on everybody, and the team just has to follow up. Once one goes down, everyone goes down, as we are going to see an immediate Galactic Legend. No value just yet. Shield gets popped. Space just trying to ensure that he gets enough, and there goes a lockdown as we're going to lose Ricky, the Strangling Prison out, and here comes Days as 2 go down. Cal gets from that on Dinks, though. Will they find more value? Cal going to make that 2. Good off angle here, finding value from behind the enemy lines, and just dunk after dunk from the Kraken Impact, but it's still so back and forth. It's nobody's yet until Envy now going to own this space with only 50 seconds on the clock.
And like, I think Shikigami running a Doctor Strange are able to protect themselves a lot better during the Strangling Prison of the group, but the difference was Cal went on a flank. That's what he was trying to do in the first place until he just ran into bullets. So now that he was successful on the flank, that's what really tilted the scales in Envy's favor and allowed them to stabilize. Eye of Agamotto at the ready for scatter.
as we start this next fight here. Ult advantage on Shikigami, but no, Cal! NK gonna make the play, gonna land on Craze Bang, make that 2 as Scatter goes down, forcing on another ultimate 3 as Dinks goes to NK, just playing with confidence now. 4, soon to be 5, gets the Penta, an absolute demon to sweep him up and force one last potential touch if it's possible. If not, this is gonna head towards a very good position for Envy.
Just a hesitation from Shikigami. This Doctor Strange scatter was so close to the enemy team. I was waiting for the levitate the jump.
Fights there, but still, we are going to progress here on the high side. We've been seeing every team virtually holding this bridge position on the high ground, noting that they only really have to stuff them at this bridge choke. Early on, it doesn't matter too much, as we saw this side of Envy try to hold and get absolutely beat down in that first fight.
What a shot from Daze, the headshot on Cal, and this is disastrous. And to set up your squids to be always on the offensive, but the range from Namor could be pivotal, and at least Remix gets a trade and will force Shikigami to retreat, especially with how low the Star-Lord got. Scatter did get frozen, so Shikigami kind of had to stick together, and this is really good progress from Envy. They're pretty much one fight territory from winning the map and tying up our series.
Yeah, Remix buying a ton of space. The sheer damage from this character boggles my mind. Just so threatening to virtually everyone and taking eyes away from that back line. Absolutely pressuring everyone. Remix doing a great job holding this natural cover to the right. Does almost get pulled, but unfortunately does not happen with a big strangling prison. Will they be able to find value? Has to retreat to get some HP back, and it is going to be a stalled point as both of them are going to be holding on to their dance. Invitational World's popping. Here comes the Meteor M. Going to find value onto a Median. Is this going to be enough for them to push through?
Oh, and Crazy is just feeding to try and get a good strangling prison, but then Paint has another Fate of Both Worlds. 2 Luna ults, still 1 remaining from Dinks. You have Armed and Dangerous, the Kraken impact from the side of NK, and this is where all hell breaks loose. And just a few more meters. Envy don't need to win the fight, they just need to zone off Shikigami, and that's why everyone's just staggering onto the court when it comes to the defense. They can't allow this win to go through.
Oh, it's difficult. We see no Qs available across the board here. No one able to pop off, but we do see 2 as Space and NK find 2. Daze turns it back, but no, that's going to be enough as Envy is going to take map 2.
1, 2, 0.
Yeah, that was kind of a roll. Time to get through, to say the least.
Yeah, as we begin this first fight, a lot of the teams have elected to go around the building to the left, and using that positioning around the building kind of changes the speed and the style of the fight. Craze going to dive in early on the thing, going to use that reduction to reset as a team. We are going to see the Loki clones just taking priority and holding like a wall in the front line. But this looks a little more standard of a fight than we do see on some of the other teams who try to make those outside skirt plays. Paint just dealing a ton of damage, trying to keep up Remix, who is at about 5% HP, but no, is going to stay in the fight, and nobody down on either side yet.
Yeah, good conservative position, and this is why it's so hard for the offense to win, because this backline can go back into the arcade and be in full cover. So accessing these strategists is so difficult. Sleepy also already has the damage boost, and we already have a Galactic Legend on the flank from a Median.
Yeah, I think they thought they were going to sneakily get that ult out before Paint got there, but Paint getting that ultimate within a minute, very fast on the Luna. And here comes the Meteor M. Is it going to find value? The shield was up, and I believe it gets eaten. Well done there by Space to keep the team in it, but we do have that Kraken impact from NK, ready to start launching here, dealing a bit of damage, ready to set up as Cal on the Wolverine, finding an off angle, waiting, and here comes Daze, lands the Kraken on the back line. He's going to find one, resets up in the sky. Here comes another. Cal going to turn that around, though. Get rid of Scatter, and the rest is going to happen for NK, so nothing happened on the side of offense at the moment as Envy's just waiting out their time.
Well, the clobbering time to try and lock down this Wolverine, that's picked off too, and the kickoff on the Luna, but the copied Luna ult is what helps the twin, I guess, get through. Shikigami have a good chance. The scales in their favor. They need to slice down these Vanguards, but the healing is just too much. Shikigami kind of let go of the steering wheel for a bit, but now they're driving towards victory. They've warded away Envy, and that should be a full cap with... Oh, there is a Doctor Strange up from Remix, maybe trying to portal through, but at the very least, Cal will be able to recontest.
Yeah, there was a touch to buy some time. The teleport could get there, and here it is as they do initiate down a number right now. Shikigami just gonna keep this pressure on, though. They know where they're coming through. Keep the absolute raid as Ricky's gonna take out iRemix. Space is gonna get rezzed up, though. It's just gonna stall this a little bit, but I still think this is very much in Shikigami's favor. But again, ultimates pop. Shikigami gets
that builds ultimates is even better, but Kraken Impact will be ready soon from Days. Paint has to be ready to heal the team with the Fate of Both Worlds. Power position trying to be fought for there by Shikigami, which can create a flank angle for your Star Lords to get around. And Amadian, keep an eye on him. He could be a huge source of success, or he could be a liability depending on how deep he goes in.
Taking space and giving a KO. Two very synonymous things at the same time. It just depends on line of sight. Up in the sky we go. A combination there as the Meteor M's going to eat the damage, allowing them to pop off with Cal. Cal does find one as Days goes down. An early start there, but that is two ultimates utilized as we are going to pop the Fate of Both Worlds on the side of Shikigami. And here comes the dunk. Will we see the meatball land? Bang! No, it gets caught. Just like that, keeping them in the fight. And they are still going to be holding this area.
To dodge that Meteor M by going inside the doorway. That's a next level reaction. And here is the reaction, the retake. Amadian with the Galactic Legend, but Sleepy copied the Luna ult. NK is frozen, and Envy had such a good shutdown on Days' Kraken Impact, but this defense has been next level. It's resilient. You saw it on the previous map. You need to fully wipe Envy or they will not go down.
Yeah, great defensive positioning and patience right there. Don't overact when something is happening. You don't panic. Play slow. Let stuff burn out, especially if you're using some of these strategist ultimates. But we do see a trade back as Cal played a little aggressively, trying to find another, and unfortunately going to turn the tides back towards Shikigami's favor as they're spawned just a little bit closer towards this payload here as we are pushing forward. NK trying to find an early pick onto the back line, just building up that ult charge. No advantage yet as actually Crazemang does have the clobbering time as it gets launched. Doesn't land into anybody in the back. They're going to try to follow up with the Kraken Impact that just gets turned around and thrown directly back in the back line.
I think the Loki regen domain helped Dinks and friends survive the Meteor M. Defensively, great bubble on Cal, the Galactic Legend that can be more aggressive because of that. Picks in favor of Envy with the Luna ults to spare. It's the one in the back pocket from Sleepy, and you're not even gonna need it. There's just nothing left in the tank from Shikigami to fight back against.
There is a free pick from me, but unfortunately, both of which found no value, giving the advantage back to Envy, who's utilizing that to own this space. Now we're back towards Shikigami ultimate advantage. Let's see how they play out with it. Remix holding on to that clobbering time. Sleepy ready to start dancing to even the odds a little bit, but we do see Amadian, and here it gets popped right now up in the sky. Galactic Legend trying to find somebody. Remix gonna put some pressure onto the front line and immediately now chase the strategist while there's distraction. Oh, it gets frozen during the clobbering time. Not able to get a pick there as they're driven back towards their team.
But still forcing out the Loki crystals from Shikigami could have still been valuable as iRemix is a menace. He's in the middle of 12 people. Ow! Is iRemix still alive? Shikigami had to use ults just to sustain, and now it's time for offense with Days with the Kraken Impact and being enabled by Crazy on the front side. There's no space being earned by Shikigami as the clobbering time from iRemix hits both strategists.
And up goes NK, getting two dinks. Ricky making a Madian. Why not? Let's get more. Days goes down, scatter, and Envy gonna push this thing into OT and likely make this happen. Good defense on point two.
Just the trade of ultimates. Envy may have faltered, but they never gave up, and this is why both teams will combine in the sky. You got the Magneto from Scatter in the top right. Shikigami take angles. They pitch in, but Envy clapped them right back with two picks.
Oof, we just started the fight there. Envy just popping off, finding these off angles. Shikigami not ready for that pressure, and it happened quick as two go down and give them a point within 30 seconds. What a press there by Envy. One thing we're noticing now is these Magneto ultimates are finding a lot less value. Teams are learning strategies as the teleport comes in, but it does three bodies out. Cal gonna find two. Soon to try to make that three out of the thing here. Gaining that ult charge at the same time, just feeding these duelists their ability to press Q as Remix takes out Dace, and they do get the first point.
Yeah, the portal back from Shikigami wasn't fully synced, or some people took the portal, some people who didn't, and it just wasn't enough chaos created at the beginning, because the portal that came from Envy's side was in the middle of a battle that was already taking place. That's why it had a lot more value from the distraction. Now Envy have built up a lot more ult charge from this unfortunate snare from Shikigami, and the time bank advantage that they have, 5 minutes to get all the way to point B, is quite incredible.
Yeah, they do have the advantage here too, because honestly, wow, well done there by Space picking out a Median early. They did not push the cart too far on the side of Shikigami. The Space taken as NK goes up. Cal gonna follow up 3, 4. They're just raining on the opposition as Shikigami is falling apart and pressing this thing forward. I think that is gonna go directly onto the side of Envy.
That's just it. Envy gonna go to series point with back-to-back map wins.
Playing around this brick right here is the way as a Vanguard. Got to use that natural cover. Natural cover is everything. Those sneaky walls above, very impactful. As anyone presses through, anybody that deals damages while those walls around will activate them. His Space is going to fall early. Ricky doing a good job finding some damage. Going to take out Space early, and the numbers going to be back on the side of Shikigami while they own this high ground.
Yeah, love the Groot walls from Crazy. As a Groot main myself, there's many ways to place them, to isolate the one, to play defensively, offensively, but to isolate Space in that moment so the entire team could focus him down was huge. But Envy do have responses, but I think the real estate and having Envy's backs against the wall is going to make this retake next to impossible from the defense.
Yeah, well done there. Just a masterclass in owning that point. Really no flaws, no feedback, nothing negative, as they are going to stagger Space here, force them back to the spawn door. Win and hold on point 2, because this space that they've taken, owning this high ground, forces them to stay back in cover right out of their spawn door here, right as they're entering the building, and it's a dangerous position to be in.
Shikigami are tempoing up a lot better, trying to go for those first picks, and Scouter's going to be forced away. The Whale plus Luna combos available from Envy's side first, and Amadian very, very close. What's the crack? No, it's not even the crack, it's just the pull from Daze to get a lot of value in the neutral fight as Pain pops the ult, and there's Cal with the Whale, and the walls, and the protection from the Magneto comes out, and Shikigami are still alive.
Honestly, that was a crazy placement of a group last year. It looks like they might as they're grouped, but here comes the walls to buy them a little bit of time. Early pick there onto Scatter. Walls just trying to buy them enough to get the point. They do get the point just like that.
Wow. I love the positioning. The macro Shikigami to be at the choke points, to be in Envy's space at all times, and to get a late copy of the ult from Sleepy. There's going to be even less options from Envy going forward, and especially when Daze has a crack and impact, you have Dinks with the Loki ult too. Like, Shikigami are doing so well this map.
Yeah, I do like the pressure here. They're feeling more comfortable. It looked a little, sloppy. Envy. Nice job on I remix there, taking out Crazy Bang early, and the crack and impact used while they're at their spawn door is a little difficult. I like the idea of it, but they are going to find one more as Amadian's going to fall, trying to find an off angle, being a flanker there, and it is going to reset the crack and impact. Not sure if it connected from this POV. Pain doing a great job with positioning, just keeping everybody up, and that's it. When you're playing a Luna like this and you have your clap ready, that left shift, you're actually able to heal, obviously, everyone and deal damage in a line. So if you align yourself looking through your front line and the back line or front line of the enemy, you just get so much value with Luna, and that's why she's in such a strong spot right now.
Fantastic neutral fight from Envy with the pull and the group walls from iRemix, but how about this Meteor M from the offense, the crack and impact to combine as Paint tries to rally the troops and dance their life away. A Space with the counter hits Daze, and Ricky will continue to help the team heal through, plus the Whale combo from Amadian. Shikigami were resilient against the pressure of Envy and will finally break out of their spawn.
That was a big old fish right there. You love to see the connection just sweeping, as once again Shikigami is owning this space. iRemix is holding on to that prison, ready to cause some problems. Cal gonna be on, they're actually on the triple Vanguard right now, holding on to that Eye of Agamotto. They want to ensure they don't have any issues. Honestly, you can wall out with Strange if you're on the side of Shikigami and you feel comfortable. You may want to make a play there, but Spade's gonna take out Daze early, put the numbers back on the side of Envy, as they are now gonna just pressure them back. There's the off-angle flank from Namor, trying to find a strategist. Space was trying to find a way to get to him, but no connection yet, as we are going to pop multiple ultimates. Did they have enough of the energy built up to make a play? Yes, they do, as down goes Ricky.
Oh, but to use the Eye of Agamotto and the Strangling Prison and a Luna ult from Envy. Did you need to do all that? It was 6 versus 5 and you had Shikigami on the run. And this is all about outlasting Shikigami. That's why you run the triple Vanguard. As the payload gets closer to the end, the respawn advantage will go towards Envy. And they may even want to stick around here and play that neutral fight of the pull with the Groot Walt choke point. But Remix and friends want to play around this different cover to maybe even go for flanks. They've loved to off angle. Now the Strangling Prison for Crazy could be what helps break through Envy, but no!
Yeah, you can see just the alt charge when it comes to Amadian and Ricky right now, virtually on the exact same value. Goes to show you that damage boosted whale is coming, and they like playing off that right now as they do have alt advantage paint sitting on that ultimate, but it's not going to do much if that whale comes in and sweeps everyone. You typically feel grouped and safe when you're on that Fate of Both Worlds, but that is not what you want when the whale is ready to play, and they do have 4 as we are going to match it on both sides. Up in the sky we go as Scatter not able to find anyone, and we're on a magic now for Days to find Sleepy in the back line. That's a great early pick.
Days has to find a health back too. Won't be involved in this fight for a few more seconds. Defensive Meteor M, but it's the offensive Luna plus Whale combo. Envy did a beautiful job of blocking the other Meteor M, and he continues to enable his team. But what is this? What is this? The magical plays from Shikigami plus the Magneto's insane.
We may have just witnessed the first Strangling Prison Magic Wombo combo as they do find a full team wipe, force them back into the spawn door. Cal does have that Eye of Agamotto. Sleepy going to be ready to start the dance floor. The Fate of Both Worlds looking at paint, and the odds are back in the favor of Envy on this hole, but there is a minute and 30 on the clock. Plenty of time for them to build ults and have one final fight to get home and walk this thing to point 3.
Yeah, Days could even be like a pseudo Vanguard, and look how sustainable they are. But wait, Cal got his Eye of Agamotto canceled while on the flank. Shikigami have next level awareness, and they got the sustain, they got the Dark Child, and they could be having a full cap with a minute to spare with respawn advantage for Envy. It won't matter if they're wiped away.
With exactly a minute left on the clock. Anything major in terms of ults off the rip here as teams are just trying to play that natural cover. Here comes the group walls as we see Remix trying to wall off somebody. The same goes on the side here. Scatter tries to get a connection. Groot gonna try to find some damage as popped crystals out for the side of Shikigami, and we are seeing a stalled out fight.
And Scatter needs to keep the space. They're giving way too much to Envy. Envy are taking damage on the other side. I think it's the battle of the two Magnetos of who can enable their Groots a lot better, as Envy almost had half the point. They disengage, trying not to get isolated by those Groot walls. Stepping up is Envy and the rest. Paint with the first Luna ult activates it immediately, and Shikigami will be pressured back.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty with a Groot on the opposition is if you take that space, you might get walled off. You better have a cooldown to get you out, or somebody who's looking as up in the sky. Go Days trying to find one. No luck there. If you didn't see the reset, Sight Guy lied. 4 go down as Scatter and Days just run through them, sweeping the entire team. Gorgeous play there. And one of the things you saw, which I think needs to be discussed, is Days actually used his uppercut to allow him to use the Kraken Impact as essentially like a roof over his head. If you uppercut with the correct timing and use your Kraken Impact, you'll actually bonk your head off the enemy you just punched up, allowing you to immediately use that ultimate instead of floating in the sky. Incredibly niche technique that is used by the best players. Incredibly well done there by Days.
And Sleepy just hesitated on whether to use a copied Luna ultimate to keep the team together, but I think everyone ran away from him during the Kraken Impact there from Days. But Envy did collect a take just from purely zoning things off. Sleepy with the copy, the Strangling Prison from Remix, everything being thrown at Shikigami, who retaliates with their own combo, the Luna ult plus the Whale. Shikigami still haven't clearly eliminated anyone from Envy, and if anything, this Luna has impressed me more and more from paint. Meteor M to finish off some targets. Scatter in trouble, and it's a double kill for Envy.
Yeah, well done there, Space. Just getting so much value with those throws of the Meteor and the Meatball City as they are going to clean the rest and own that first point. Well done there. Keeping their confidence up even after a sweep like that. And it just goes to show you when you do get swept by ultimates, if they commit 2 or 3, they, you know, maybe some of those ults are considered a little bit of a waste. It's all about ult economy. If you just don't match it, if you don't panic and hit the Q button, you can come back for the next fight and make something like this happen, as they are going to try to buy this space. But if you notice, they aren't able to get their full team up here before before this team presses through and is now able to contest them on the high ground, much like we didn't see on the opposition when Shikigami got up here really quickly.
Yeah, Shikigami already forcing them back with the Kraken impact setup ready. Sleepy copying an ult, but Shikigami not too worried. Meteor M from Scatter to collect all that damage. Beautiful block there from Space. Walled off, playing protective. Kraken impact goes in from the defense. Response, and it continues to reset as Shikigami are protecting Day so well. The Luna ultimate from Paint and the rest from I Remix as Envy go toe-to-toe. It's a tug of war between both teams.
Yeah, good pick there by Daze. Remix does fall. Numbers back in their favor. They're taking this space. Shikigami getting their footing. There goes the freeze by Ricky. No connection just yet. Gonna push them back towards the spawn. And there goes down one. Ricky, nice job utilizing what we're talking about. Putting some damage through. Luna, a force when it comes to Rain. Does have that hit scan on the left click and does showcase how strong that can be. One little known fact about Luna, you actually have almost virtually unlimited range with your left click. But when you do use that left shift, you do actually force yourself into a 40-meter, I believe, window, maybe 50, I can't remember the exact number, where it actually will not extend past that value. So sometimes it's not always worth popping that shift when you're trying to deal damage to somebody at extreme ranges. Good pull there by Daze, trying to find something on Remix.
Even better bubble from Space. He has kept those especially for his group player. That's why this front line from Envy has done so well in these convoy maps. But the whale, the two-piece from Invitational, and they still have the Luna ult from Shikigami to keep pressing into Envy. They have brought down their time bank to less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, really well played. Again, these fights are so back and forth. So much success with these ults, but no, not enough to turn the tides. As Shikigami gets that early whale double, and it just doesn't allow Envy to make anything happen. 3 ults up on the side of Envy. They're going to have a slight advantage with 1 over, but Scatter sitting on that Meteor. We do also have the Kraken impact on both sides. Which one's going to get more value as they're just trying to find a window, wait for some of these cooldowns to go down, and they are for sure having a conversation when they do.
Just a neutral fight. That's all Daze cares about. It's just pulling and trying to isolate with the wall. And as soon as Envy round the corner, they get hit by a truck. The Kraken impact will stay put. Has to deal with the squids. Now that that's out of the picture, wants to avoid the Luna ultimate and not feed into Envy. Smart, patient plays from Daze. But now it's his turn. It's his day to shine. And Envy will corner and stay in their place. Shikigami don't want to be too aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing a little bit passive right now. They're still holding on to those ults, not utilizing the ults in a wasteful fashion. Good flank here by NK, and it does have a massive pick. Make that 2 as Invitational goes down, and this is where Namor excels. Those flanks just being an absolute menace with 3 turrets down, 2 turrets down, but the ice turret might as well count as 2, as at this point, they're just buying time until this Luna ult ends so they can sweep the rest.
Yeah, good copy from Dinks in the 4v6. Took a big gamble to see if they can turn it around. And you don't get to see a Luna 3K all the time. Man, this is why they protect Luna in almost every protect and ban system. Envy's out. That costed them so many minutes, and they only have 10 seconds to go to point B, and there will be another fight for that point.
No, what's better than 1 Luna player is a player that can have 2 Luna players as long as you copy with Loki, as we saw them trading back and forth with picks there. Well done by Sleepy and Paint just to make things happen. Following up on the play initially by NK, who does have the ult ready again as a lot of cooldowns get used up in the sky with the Meteor M. 1 misses, 2 does connect, but here comes the whale, and it does fight 2 as down goes 3 on the side of Envy, and at this point they need to get back here fast.
Yeah, Shikigami have really stabilized. It's all up to Paint, the solo strategist for the day in a 3 versus 6 with respawns closer for the defense. And it's just Invitational locking down every target in his path and bubbles at the perfect time. There's the portal. One last touch from Space and friends. Envy took so long to round the corner to get to point B. They have no gas in the tank to push through. Shikigami.
No, and there's the change. I believe for a minute. Yeah, I believe for a minute. No luck off the rip with the early pick. Instead, they are going to keep the normal cop. Invitational going to be back on that side lock, though.
I really want someone to lock in the Black Widow for good, but just to make sure that Envy stay around this corner and as passive as possible, including if there's a Star-Lord hanging around, that could be a huge pick for Shikigami. But Invitational already pressuring that high ground, and with the tandem of the double duelist, this overwhelms Invitational off the rip.
Yeah, nice little start there, but the res is up. Amadian's going to be right back. Numbers evened again. You do see the Venom on the back line, drawing some attention away. Good attempt at an escape, but it's not going to be enough. And this is where things get difficult. Bucky does a real good job shutting down escape, and Cal can move around himself. Sleepy is going to be strong on the Loki. A lot of things that can shut down that Venom, including iRemix, once he uses that Yancey streak, can actually shut down the web out as well. So we will see some struggles here, but you know Crazemang loves that pick right now and has found success. So even if early on it's not working, we will see some plays happening as we start again on the next fight. We are going to see some angling from NK, who's thinking about jumping up there on height, does take the angle, and here comes the Kraken impact immediately. Got to get invisible boundaried, and the dunk in the sky is paintballs. Reset again. Daze gets 3, and it's just going to keep on going, dunking like crazy as we are going to lose Envy.
Shikigami with the ultimate shutdown. They are fearless. The Kraken impact jumping into the invisible boundary. It slows you, and to target the invisible woman to cancel the ultimate and allow all the dominoes to fall in Shikigami's favor. But wait a minute, we got a recontest with 4 meters to go.
What a jump right there. Immediately initiating with clobbering time. The Median gonna pop that. Will we find value with a dance of the butterfly? It does do enough as we lose Sleepy, NK, Paint, and yep, Shikigami just still holding this space. Knew where that fight was gonna be, and they find value as we use one more, which may not have been necessary, but still sometimes feels worth it in your heart, and just showcases they wanted to clean that up with another ult.
Yeah, Envy forcing out a lot more ultimates there, I think, is still huge, and every second you take off the clock is massive, because the point B is going to be the most difficult part of the map, or the second most difficult part of the map to get through. And you've already had some good shutdowns from Envy to deal with this Venom, which was pesky for them before. They've banned it before, and it's Crazy that needs to match tempo. He can't go in 5v6 if the team aren't ready to match the line of sight and to keep him healed up. If there's like a unfortunate Bucky pull, you never know. So Shikigami trying to own the right side while getting some payload push, but as they rotate back, it's a pull on the Magneto!
Wow, NK gonna take out Scatter immediately. We are gonna lose Sleepy. Numbers evening out as Scatter does get res. The again, but no luck there as NK's gonna turn around and try to help the backline. NK falls there from Crazemang. Once again, I did think that it was gonna go in Envy's fight, or Envy's favor for that fight, just due to ult advantage, because I thought Shikigami overcommitted a little bit, but looks like they didn't need it as they still have the space and are pushing towards point 2.
Just bad macro from Envy to be on the right side and kind of disengage and be caught out in the open, and it was space that was isolated. Great punish from the pull from Daze. Now they built up ultimate, and Daze's Kraken impact was the whole reason they capped A, but they have to have a shutdown on Cal's Galactic Legend. It gets pulled by the invisible woman and does not get in range of his supports. Cal went in way too deep, and Ricky's invisible boundary may have blocked out those heals, that line of sight, as you got the dance of the butterflies from Median, and Shikigami have more in the tank, but the respawn advantage is for Envy, and Sleepy sets up at the back to pressure back the offense.
Gotta show some love to that play right there as we have one more dunk again. Kraken impact on the entirety of the team. Venom gonna do enough damage to get the reset, and they are gonna follow up on this as Daze is showcasing why Bucky needs to be banned. Make that 3. Can we get 4 off the clone again? And that is just gonna be an insane push.
To stabilize, they're already getting maybe pulled off the high ground. iRemix is isolated, but the thing can hold his own. Space rejoins his side, and Shikigami have an edge this fight.
Yeah, it looks like they're trading it up here, electing to go with the Rocket to try to help boost NK on the Bucky. Just trying to make sure that Venom gets less impact, as we are going to turn it right back around. The bubble's out to make sure that they are going to hold on. As you see there, that window of the elimination does get deleted when you see that bubble pop. Immediately, the team has to force reset. It's a nice drop back there by the side of Shikigami, and here comes that initiation you talked about with the Median popping off, forcing out some of their ultimates. But we do see Paint popping that invisible boundary again. A lot of value out of these Psylocke ults.
And that Psylocke in the middle of the invisible boundary by themselves was able to escape. Now the offensive invisible barrier there from Ricky as Space tries to hold them back with the Meteor M. A lot of pressure now coming from Shikigami, forcing these Magneto shields, and the Galactic Legend. Cal with the bubble, focusing down. A double CC hits a Median and Daze, allowing Cal to go for the big finisher, and the Venom will escape. There maybe could be some punish as Cal doesn't want to press his luck too much, and Shikigami will be forced to just stay put.
we did notice before, in something to make a note of, is Psylocke's always going to appear post-ultimate after the Dance of the Butterfly, dead center in the circle. So the team needs to be ready for that, as we saw Sleepy make a smart play with Loki before, just start shooting with the firing line directly into the center, and it did get a pick. So we saw some luck there. You mentioned how they were able to escape as a Median. Obviously, a really strong Psylocke does escape from that fight, but that kind of thing cannot happen once you've committed an ultimate. You've got to try to make some sort of play. NK going to take out 2 and bring the numbers back towards Envy.
NK is hitting his shots. Beautiful bursts of damage, hitting the strategist while Cal keeps a Madian busy. A big shutdown for Bucky could be a Madian chasing him down on the Psylocke, but the duelists are keeping each other in check, and Envy take back-to-back fights. A minute 15 though. Crazy, his impact has really been stifled on the Venom. The setups have been good, but the follow-ups are lacking when you can't round this corner as the pull almost gets a Madian in the line of fire, but a Madian and Shikigami are ready to retaliate.
Only 60 seconds left.
Just a masterclass on defense now, as here comes the Dance of the Butterfly. So much value in Median showing why Psylocke still is here in the meta, and why Psylocke is so strong. Great heals there to keep space with a nice dunk on Daze, and down goes a Median from Cal. Team with a good set of patience, just dropping back and waiting for their time, and still making things happen even after the chaos. Being down 1, turning it right back around. Cal gonna chase. Great play here by Cal to try to get Craze. Craze, oh my goodness, able to get out of there at least so far. And at this point, not gonna continue the chase as Cal's gonna set up for the ultimate of the Galactic Legend.
Venom needs to change. This is just so weak for point C. I'm a Venom enjoyer too, but your team can't follow up, and you need to hold space, and that Venom does this so poorly. And we'll see if the Venom can get people low for the Kraken impact with the invisible boundaries. Now on the offense are setting Envy back. They'll try to retaliate with their own duelist ultimates, and the Median won't overstay his welcome. Respawn advantage as Shikigami throw every ultimate at the book at them, and are now exhausted of options and exhausted of eliminations. They really haven't wiped Envy or really gotten them uncomfortable enough. Overtime will ensue, and I don't know if Shikigami can finish.
Yeah, well done by iRemix to retake this. The team of Envy committed 3 ultimates out of Crazemang, but I thought it was going to go towards Shikigami just strictly due to that fact. They're not even getting the pick, but no. Envy finding their composure, sweeping them back around, and that is going to hold before we get to point 3.
Yeah, the Venom needed to swap. I've struggled on
long
this
fight, so just a really well done job there by Envy to stay calm after utilizing and putting so much effort into trying to get that pick on Venom.
Yeah, Daze and Craze need to link up as best as they can to be the ultimate duo, but this time on the defense, and how you initiate on defense could be a little tricky as NK initiates with a headshot into a Median. It doesn't look like they're revived quite yet, and Envy will continue with this advantage to press and force the Magneto cooldowns out of scatter, and Daze will not be able to flank, and the rest of Shikigami will run.
I may have missed it. I don't know how that rocket res did not happen on the side of a Median, how that didn't work out, but hey, you know, maybe they got the pick early. They found where that location was. It's pretty much consistently either in that building to the left or off to the left side, and they got it down early, so that pick was even more impactful. As we are going to continue pressing here again, right onto point. They might try the TP with Daze, and they do get back on point, and the team is going to collapse, trying to find this rocket. There goes the res off in an off angle. Good decision to go take that out before the fight continues. Nice pick there by Space and Cal to trade for Daze and a Median, and that should be enough for them to get this first point at the end here.
Oh, it's still not capped yet, and yet the invisible boundary to stabilize friends on the Shikigami side, but they have no space to work with. It's all because of this Venom, and I guess Magneto's still lurking around, but these strategists are under fire, and they're holding their own, but that means they are getting their sidelines blocked off to be able to heal their vanguards. So Shikigami are stalling insanely well despite the circumstances, but this Venom needs to be dealt with, and finally Space has to redirect, but this is the stall of all time from Shikigami.
Holy moly, this fight feels like forever. I could have read a full book. Incredible play on both teams, or both sides of the teams here, just due to utilization of that ultimate and positioning. It was very difficult to take out Crazemang on that point. Did manage to battle so long that he pulled out the ult to buy a little bit more time. Ricky popped that invis boundary, then again to keep him in there, but I just love the space taken by Space, choosing to activate shield during that choke to just stuff all the heals. Sometimes it's more valuable to eat heals than it is to get a pick, because if you allow your team to get the pick for you and your job is just walling off the back line from their front line, it can be more than enough as they do push towards point two. NK trying to get an early pick. Wow, nice pick there. Manages to get two with one shot as Scatter and Amadian go down.
Just the pressure of isolating that Magneto from Scatter and then pulling a Amadian who just wanted to be part of the fun, and that was anything but that. But Envy are just going to hold these doors, and this is free push, and all of Envy are going to be committed to this. Galactic Legend is at the ready, and just when it rains, it pours. Dinks caught one of your strategists down. Ricky will have the invisible boundary, and this could be the only thing that saves Shikigami and salvages an upcoming defensive hold.
Don't turn back now.
Yeah, I can see the momentum here for Envy. They are going to be down slightly on ults, but not by much, as Remix very close as well. And here comes the first fight. Top Cal. Nice work there, Cal. They're going to be immediately. Venom's going to stay in the fight, utilizing those cooldowns, but that's good to get out early. And here comes the invisible boundary following up here. There has to be value, and yes, Daze clutching what he needs to. Down goes three, as NK is going to get res. And at this point, Daze is just trying to follow up and force the rest of the team back into the spawn door.
Oh, Daze MVP when his team was down 4v6 and his duelist brother was down. He shows up with the Kraken impact to save the day for Shikigami. That was so over, which is the rocket from Dinks getting staggered out, Cal getting the edge against Amadian. Daze turns it all around, and they need to also cycle their ult. Still 2.5 minutes, lots of time for Envy, and just hearing Amadian and this Galactic Legend forces Envy to reset. Not gonna get too much value in terms of eliminations. Crazy has to try and get out, and this is not the easiest place to swing out of. Probably got pulled, and this is gonna set Crazy behind. Actually gets a revive there.
Yeah, very aggressive play by Amadian. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Probably likely burn some cooldowns, but just was so early on in the fight, and they were able to just kite back and stay alive without having to use anything too major in terms of ult. And here we go again, as we are going to pop Paint, going to use that invisible boundary. They're going to try to play off it, and they do get one. Unable to see Amadian through that boundary, gives them a free pick. Here comes the Magneto, not able to get any pick early, as the KOs are back in the favor of Envy, trying to make a full play here, as they don't have any other ults up by 2 at this point, and they are going to hold that tight choke. But we've seen 100 Thieves hold this doorway and make it happen. Can we see Shikigami do the same?
Man, NK got pulled in, and he's been an AK for this team. Always getting first bloods in these fights, and now he gets Remix to give him the damage reduction. There's a portal, a Scatter swap to the Strange. A few more seconds taken away. Not as much follow-up, even though there's a revive. Envy could catch him on bad spawns, and you got the Galactic Legend once again from Envy. A big investment now, and no bad spawns from the Shikigami side. A good contest on both point A and point B came out from Shikigami, but this is the ultimate fight. How much can Envy snowball from this point? This is the most difficult part that Shikigami struggled with on their offense, and Envy cannot give this space up.
Yeah, this is potentially a one-fight game now. It's all about building ults and making the plays happen, ensuring now the value of making those strategists pop all early is even more useful, as NK again gets an early pick.
It's revive, but NK's not even done there, and it's the Kraken impact that gets shut down. NK is out and brought back in. The Rockets have been pivotal to keep this fight lasting forever, as Cal has to get the edge against his other duelist, and he's got bubbles. He's going in deep. Cal is insane, and Paint has the invisible boundary. The more space he gets, the more that Envy can hold it using the strategist ultimates.
And the shield goes up as the boundaries popped. Here comes the dunk of the Meteor M. That is going to be, unfortunately, not important enough, as it didn't find any pick as Ricky goes down. Envy starting to look better and better, and they're seeing this series end in their eyes now. The dream is becoming a reality. Can they get it done? As we do see some clobbering times. Cal gonna take out Dinks. Down goes another for Craze. And at this point, it should be over, as Envy closes out the series and takes home the W.
Cal, what a push to set up that invisible